Thank you, first of all, Dr. Looney, my best friend, for that heartfelt introduction. For the record, I did not know she was going to use my own words against me, but I do feel truly humbled and honored to have learned from her, as well as many of the incredible faculty we have sitting before us right now. Special shout out to everybody who also let me cry in their office. That's more of you than I would care to admit right now. I would like to further extend my gratitude towards Joni Kruger and the Registrar Office staff for counting and recounting every credit and literally making it possible for us to all be here today. To all of the administrators who work tirelessly behind the scenes for supporting us from the Office of Admission to Alumni Affairs. To all the faculty and staff who poured their talent and wisdom into this senior class, and last but certainly not least, to the family members, biological or otherwise, who are supporting us from all around the world today. We would not be here without your dedication, support, and provisions of comfort food. To the class of 2017, here we are. We did it. Officially voted the most attractive graduating class by Rob Oliver himself, honorary member. How great is that? Give yourself a hand. For many of us, today is so bittersweet. There have been many moments that have culminated into days, weeks, months, and can you believe it? Years. We have seen basketball championships and wicked fast constructions on a really cool science center. But alas, our moments were not all winners, and I've seen personal growth from embarrassing mistakes. For example, I'd begun exploring the concrete jungle and sandy beaches during a semester abroad in San Jose, Costa Rica for just a few weeks before I found myself in the waiting room of La Clínica Bíblica, the region's premier private hospital. I was dragged in by my study abroad program director after she finally tired of listening to my complaints of searing eye pain. Like a champ, I held open my eye for every exam that ophthalmologist could throw at me, and listened along as if I was actually translating every word he said in Spanish into my English brain. Following this series of exhausting exams, my impressively low blood sugar prompted my physician to inquire about how I was feeling. Perhaps I was on another medication or had some sort of pre-existing condition that would attribute to this. I have no pre-existing conditions, I assured him. Solamente embarazada, I added, so I could impress him with my Spanish. Unfortunately, the raised eyebrows and dropped jaws of both the physician and my study abroad director paralleled those of someone who had just learned that jet fuel cannot melt steel beams. I know, right? It can't melt it. The doctor left and somewhat reluctantly returned. Then, all at once, the small white plastic stick in his hand made it all come together for me. Embarazada doesn't mean embarrassed. I wasn't embarazada. The doctor wasn't embarazada. No one was even a little embarazada. Embarazada in Spanish means pregnant. As I rode home from the hospital that night, my prescription eye drops in tow, I rolled my eyes at the embarrassment of committing the cardinal error of Spanish as a second language. I was disappointed because I so desperately wanted to be fluent. I resolved to return to Spanish class the next morning because to quit on myself now would be the real embarrassment. My colleagues, we are students of the world, fluent in the liberal arts. As anyone in a cap and gown can attest, fluency in one's major or vocation of choice did not blossom overnight. Nor did it come without a couple blunders. Rather, we have been fostering this fluency since our first steps on this campus. We have made mistakes, turned in a draft when we meant to actually print out the final copy, and hushed our breathing for not wanting anyone else to know how winded we were by the time we accomplished that third flight in the humanities building. We have felt embarrassed. Nevertheless, we persisted. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines fluency as the ability to speak or write a foreign language easily and accurately. At Augustana, our student body represents over 50 different languages from a plethora of unique cultures. But fluency is not solely limited to the confines of a set language. Over the past 4 years, I have taken courses in genetics, microbiology, biological chemistry, anatomy, and physiology, just to name a few, which have all contributed to my fluency in biology. If you have any questions regarding the arrangement of myofilaments and cardiac muscle, which allows your heart to beat in this electrical synchrony, and then the apex up in a ringing motion, it's actually really cool. And if you have any questions about it, you can go ahead and ask me or anybody wearing these nifty red and green cords after this ceremony. But that's the thing. We get so excited about what we know, about what we are passionate about. Now, class of 2017, tell me, have your friends or family members ever held up their hand to stop you mid-rant when you just have a million other things you want to say about constitutional law? Have you ever excitedly informed a friend that you finally finished the set design for your senior theatrical production, only to realize that you lost them at upstage versus downstage? Have instances like this happen to you for different projects, in different classes, in different departments during the same week? You may be afflicted by the liberal arts. But don't take this diagnosis too seriously. I'm not a doctor, yet. I've found that there's a tangible reaction when someone speaks to their passion, to their fluency. It's as if you get to a point where you truly understand a language, a subject, or a calling, and the beauty of it becomes overwhelming. It seems to well up inside of people, and they burn to show others what they found. Like Julie Ashworth, when she teaches on inclusivity in a diverse classroom, or Dr. Mullen, as he learns alongside his students to create boats from woven sticks and buffalo hides, just like the explorers from Lewis and Clark's expedition. Fluency in philosophy allows Dr. O'Hara to share his sense of wonder with his classes both on Augustana's campus and in his many classrooms around the world. And Brian Gary's fluency and athletic training keeps ankles taped and teams healthy. But if all we have done over the past few years is take in vocabulary, what good will we do our communities? Fluency is not just about the acquisition of knowledge, but also the ability to express oneself easily and articulately. When the student athlete who put up with my dirty socks on the carpet of Berg 107 for a whole year receives her white coat and enters the world of medicine, she, among many healthcare professionals created in this class, will be challenged to translate her fluency in biology to adults and children alike. When a government major goes on to win the Nobel Peace Prize for his diligent work in human rights, it will be awarded because this student was able to share his fluency in international affairs to be an advocate for those without a voice. And when a nervous education major realizes that what she lacks in fluency in Creole now, she makes up for in fluency and compassion for her students, she will be ready to begin her first year of teaching in Haiti. Class of 2017, we are not merely a collection of fancy words and good looks. We are fluent in cultures, in core values, subjects ranging from nursing to physics, classics to performance art. We are fluent in global citizenship. Our specializations crisscross and overlap in amazing ways to contribute to our fluency in the liberal arts. As we go forward from this campus, we will likely find new instances in which we are again immersed in new. Renowned philosopher Will Ferrell once said, "Sometimes I use big words that I don't fully understand in an effort to make myself sound more photosynthesis." Drawing from Mr. Ferrell's wisdom, the path to fluency is riddled with embarrassing moments. We will sometimes use the wrong vernacular. We will conjugate in the wrong tense. We will confuse pronouns. And we might even accidentally tell a physician that we're pregnant. It happens. But it is of utmost importance that we continue to put ourselves out there, to dare to make mistakes in order to one day look back and see yourself as fluent. May your fluency serve as a conduit to bridge divides, build community, and teach others. Congratulations, class of 2017. Lo hicimos. We did it.